more focused on resume, because it's so much time taking process to go through a CV of around 3 to 4 to 5 pages. So it's better if the resume is of 1 page, max 2 pages, in order for to stand out among other resumes or CVs. So the four important tips to have in your resume are: you need to use active language. As a recruiter, as a person who is handling HR since last 12 years, I have seen people, writing wrong English language with the past jobs as well. Like if you are writing, I was doing, or I have done, you need to use the correct past tense, present tense, whatever form of tense it is. Correctly using of those things are very much required. I've seen people writing some things in present tense while the job is, they have left the job for like 2 years or something like that. So the past experiences should always have that language which is appropriate for that point in time. Focal points are very important. Focal points are basically the things which you, for instance, being an engineer, you need to emphasize on what stack you really are good at. So those points need to be focused. If we are going through LinkedIn profiles as well, what happens is that when we are searching the profiles on LinkedIn, we use those stacks, in order to screen those people from there. So the focal points, those are very much important when you are jotting down your resume or even your LinkedIn profile. That is very much important, because usually in remote base, if we see, most of the engineers are software engineers, and the stack is not mentioned in their designation. So when you are updating your designation on a similar note, it's not going to stand out with recruiters of different firms, because it's going to be standing same for all the engineers. So stacks are very much important to write down as a focal point, where you can write them down in your summary, in your statements, and I will let you know ahead how to write those down. Numbers are very much important, like the project, if you have done, what numbers did you achieve? There are a lot of things, being an engineer as well, where you can achieve numbers. So this is very much important to write that down as well. If we look into the basic information to put in, there are some things which are very much important and which we neglect most of the time, but that is very much important, like proper formatting, contact information. Current contact information is very much important. Personal profile is important. Education should be there, but very much, concise, and working experience should be there. It makes your CV stand out, that yes, you have taken this award, which means that you were outstanding in your last organization. Relevant skills are very much important, as I was telling you earlier, and achievements should be there over responsibilities. You shouldn't be writing that you are responsible for this thing. You should be writing you have achieved making this thing, or you have achieved, developing this app, developing this website, or whatever you want to write regarding your experience. Resume title and headline. So basically, title is a good phrase which you give your resume to, and headline is something where which you write job title, years of experience and skills, and impressive achievements that you have. You can see the examples ahead. Like if you are writing a headline, engineer specialized in machine learning and data mining, see, you are putting in your designation as well, and your specialization as well. There are a number of examples that I have quoted down here, whereby you can see that e-commerce senior developer with 6+ years of experience in creating, managing, maintaining databases. So you're giving your numbers of years of experience as well, and your forte as well. So this is also very much important. If you see this point, the sixth one, it's a longer one, and this is where you can, write more of your detailed knowledge and expertise. Enthusiastic software engineering undergraduate student looking for an entry level job. This is how a person who is just entering the market can write it down, and write this as well, that he is an entry level person, so that when a recruiter is shorting down the resumes, he or she can look into the number of years that a person has. And this is very much important, because whenever you guys must be knowing that when a JD is written down, or when the job is posted, numbers of years of experience is there written, mentioned, and recruiters go through those number of years definitely while screening your resumes. So these are some of the examples whereby you can write down how the headline needs to be written in a resume. Now comes the skills to add on. Some of the skills are very much important to write down apart from your engineering skills. So it's basically sometimes it's computer proficiency, leadership experience is very much important if you're applying for a senior manager position or managerial position. Communication skills is also very much important. We should not ignore that. Organizational know-how, as in the last organizations, you need to know as to what organizations you were working in and what were they doing things on. People skill is very much important. Collaboration talent is very much important. Problem solving abilities, you need to write what problems did you solve and what type of achievement was there in it. Pressure management is something which is very much important these days, because people are unable to take pressure when the deadlines are near, where we have strict deadlines. So this is something where you can write it down, and when a recruiter is asking you about how you manage the pressure, you need to have a solid concrete example to tell the recruiter. Creativity is something that you rely on, and attention to detail is very much important. We shouldn't be writing that we were just working on an app. We should be writing what app we were working on, what type of portfolio we were covering, and what was the achievement basically. So the details needs to be there in order for everyone to know that yes, you have worked on very much on that particular project or role. Now, soft skills are something that we shouldn't be thinking that they are going to be ignored. Being an engineer is very much critical to have all the technical skills written in your resume, but soft skills are very much important and needs to be written, especially when you are applying for a managerial position. And secondly, recruiters do value cultural fit and evaluate you in the first round, in the first screening round. We always see if the candidate is fitting us culturally as well or not, if that person has those values in his life important as we have within our organization. And then technical evaluation is definitely there, but soft skills are evaluated by the recruiter. So what should we focus on? We should focus on precision, we should be concise, and it's not necessary that if you have made a resume once, that resume can be sent to all the jobs that you're applying for. We need to tailor the resume to the job opportunity for sure. Go through the job description that's been given, the job role that's been given, the job that's being advertised. If you see that there is something missing in your resume and you have done that thing, tailor the resume to that job opportunity. Because when recruiters are screening the resume, they do look for keywords when they are screening the resume. So this is very much important that you tailor the resume, because what happens most of the time, you have done those things in your career but you have not written it in your resume. And sometimes when you see the job posting, you see that yes, I have done everything around, but we don't what we miss is that we are not connecting those job roles to our resume. So first of all, you need to see that your resume is fulfilling all the requirements of the post role that is being posted. Key accomplishments, as I told you earlier, are very much important. You need to write what accomplishments you did. So this is very much important. Add a project list. Definitely, being an engineer, you need to have project list that is there. If you see that pages are going much more higher than 1 or 2 pages, then you can break your page and write the project list down, so that people, recruiters, know what projects you have done and what you have focused on. And then comes be honest. We shouldn't be, if we are tailoring the resume to the job opportunity, it shouldn't be that we are not being honest. We need to be honest and write everything that we have done so far. Some people ask that do we need to put a photograph on our resume? So when we analyze these things, recruiters will be using resumes without or with with photos basically. So it's not a necessary tool, but if you think that it is necessary, you can put it. But to be on the safe side, we should not be including photo, because photos are much more important when recruiters are recruiting for the roles that are client facing. Definitely, because you need to be presentable, you need to know how that person is being looking like and everything. But obviously that doesn't shortlist your resume. What shortlist your resume are your key responsibilities, key achievements, and the skills that you have written down. How to end the resume? Resume ends by writing a line of text simply stating professional references upon request will be furnished. This gives a clear session of conclusion as well as detailing the fact that you have a reference to offer. And this is the classic way, and it still is used when you are ending your resumes, basically. So these are some of the points that we need to know when we are writing the resume down. Now comes what recruiters look for. As I was telling you throughout the presentation, what we look for, these are some of the things that we look for. We do look for keywords that are there in the job description. We look for concrete examples of your success. We do not want to know what role was there, but we need to know what concrete examples you have of your success. Then we need to know, we see where are the gaps in the work experiences. If the gaps are there, then the recruiter is going to ask you why the gaps were there. So you need to know why the gaps were there. You need to have a solid reason, rationale behind it. Then comes clear career trajectory that is related to the gaps in the work experience. In contact information is very much required, and it should be up to date. Professionalism in presentation should be there. Sometimes, being a recruiter, I've seen that the first page ends, the second page is starting, and what happens is that at the end of the first page, the title of the position is written, one line of the responsibilities written, and the next all responsibilities are going on the second page. You need to know that if there is no space, you just need to go on the next page and write the heading right up on the second page, not by the end of the page. So these are some of the things that people do not look into, but these don't look professional at all. And then spelling errors, we should know that there shouldn't be any spelling errors. If you are putting full stop or semicolon, so these are some of the small things which I know are very much simple, but sometimes we overlook them in while writing a resume. So this was very much important to let everyone know about. Now comes some templates. These are some of the templates that gives you a clear idea as to how resumes should look like. What is required is engineers needs to have a one-page resume. That is what you can say are the requirements of the recruiter. So if you see in these both resumes, they have got the picture, they have got a tagline to them, they have got a title as well. Like if you see for John, this is the title, software developer expert, and then this is the headline whereby he's telling how many years of experience he has, what are the things that he has done. Now the contact information is there. Professional experience is quite extensive, and then the technical skills are also written with education and with his interests. On the second side, if you see, there are certificates also mentioned with memberships that she has and the language that she can speak. Languages are very much important if you are, applying on a global level on an organization which is working remotely or globally. So that is how we need to know about these things as well. There are some more resume templates whereby you can see Melissa didn't have put her picture in the resume, and her resume is not, the page is not bifurcated into two portions, but it's one portion that she has written all the things there. The skills are very much clearly written at the top, and then comes the work experience, education, and interests. And this is how it's for Brian as well. So these are some of the templates that we can refer to when we are making our resume. But the thing is that all the things needs to be precise, concisely written. Everything needs to be put it down, especially your achievements and what are you looking for. Definitely needs to be there in your resume. So tailoring your resume every time you're applying for the role obviously takes some time, but this helps you a lot, in getting noticed for that position basically. So that is it from my side. I think some people have questions related to their resumes. They wanted to show their resumes to me. Feel free to ask questions or show your resumes, whatever you would like to ask me about.
Yeah, thank you very much for that awesome webinar, Bata. So the floor is open to questions. If you have specific questions, here's the opportunity to ask the questions. If you have a question, just how we do it. Drop your question in the comment. Indicate that you want to ask a question through the comment section, and then I'll call you up stage, right? We have 3 resumes that we're going to do like a live review for today. So if there's no question, we'll go on to them. Okay, Exo Sound, can you come up stage and ask your question?
Hi, good evening to everyone here. Thank you for your presentation and your detailed explanation. It's very insightful.
Thank you.
I I have this question that when I was trying to craft my resume, I saw that companies use ATPs. Is it ATPs or ATRs?
ATS.
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 ATS, I mean automated system. So how do we, get past, because that's not a human being. So how do we get past that machine?
Okay. So basically, the thing is that some of the ATS which we are using currently and which most of the organizations use, what happens is that you sometimes the ATS has those things, put in by the recruiters that if, for instance, for a position, if you have 10 years of experience is required, and if you are not fulfilling that, the ATS has got that thing incorporated in the beginning that anyone who is applying and does not have 10 years of experience, that person is not going to be, successfully, that person cannot upload their resume successfully, so they filter you right at that point in time. But if you have applied and your application has been submitted successfully, then comes the recruiter role, whereby that person is going to screen your resume. Now, some of the ATS do have these filters put in, whereby recruiters do use those filters, and put the numbers of years of experience or the expertise that they require and the skills that they need. So they do filter using those filters as well. So what is more important is that if you want to go through that, if you want to pass that ATS thing, you need to put in everything that you have done, that the skills that are required for the role, and you have done it in your past, definitely. So you need to put all those things down in order for that to be screened, to be passed through the ATS, which is automatically screening the resumes, and from the recruiter aspect as well. So at the end, ATS is just screening on the things that the recruiter has put in. So basically, if you are matching your resume with the job description that's been given in the job post, then you're going to go ahead with it.
Thank you very much for the explanation.
Thank you.
I understand very much. Very
Thank you.
well, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Right.
definitely, I'll share the
Okay, so
slides.
Muhammad,
Yeah.
okay, yes, thank you very much. Iris is asking
Objective
how
line.
important is adding the objective line in the resume?
It is very important, Horace, because the thing is that we start off looking at the resume from the top, and when we see the objective line, a lot of things, recruiters scan from there only: the number of years of experience, your expertise, the that is, you can say, an attractive thing in a resume, whereby recruiters do get attracted, basically, that yes, we know how much a number of years of experience they have and what are the expertise that they have. So everyone wants to jump up to the conclusion, even if it's a recruiter. And if you have put at the objective line properly, that person is going to be shortlisted, even looking at the objective line, when the everything is going to be fulfilled in the objective line. So it should be concise, but it should have all the required info, so that recruiters can shortlist there and then. So objective is very much important, and it gives your resume a flow as well. So definitely you need to have a flow, whereby everything is being aligned, everything is being following each other. So it is very much necessary.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. So if you have questions, you can put them in the chat. But while we await some questions, let's go and do one resume review first. So but I'm going to be sharing my screen,
Sure.
right? So
There's one more question, whereby he need to know, how do we add leadership roles and achievements that are not related to the role, especially when it is not in a professional organization? See, the thing is that when you are writing your achievements, and if you think that the leadership role was not in a professional organization, you can always write those things in your achievements. That is your achievement. You have done a leadership role, you have succeeded in it, though it was not part of a professional organization. So no worries, you can write those things in your achievement, and that can be a place where you can summarize your tasks which are not related to a professional organization. So you can jot it down there, no worries.
so let's do it quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So there you go. So when you want me to move up, just let me know so
Yeah,
I
yeah, sure.
move up.
Okay, so this resume, the summary needs is, I would say it's too much of an explanation in the summary. It needs to be just one sentence, or you can say 3 lines, max 4 lines. 3 lines, I would say, are more than enough. It shouldn't be so elaborative. It needs to be concise. So this is first point that I would like to let you know, and then you can move it upward. And the summary and objective. So basically, summary and objective can be, switched. If you like, summary is something that gives a long explanation, but objective is something when you are putting it in a concise form, you can just write objective and then write it down. But summary and objective can be replaced, can be used against each other. So no worries with that. Um, Okay, so the work experience, see the till date you have written that implemented new features. Okay, but you are saying that you are currently doing this job and you have implemented something. So what are you doing right now? So you need to write that thing as well, because this shows that you have done everything and currently you're not doing anything. So that thing which I was telling you, correct use of tense is very much required. So basically, it needs to be debugging and fixing existing bugs in React web applications. You're currently also doing these things, implementing new features in React applications. So if you're using till date, you need to have current continuous tense used in your sentences as well.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. Are you done with this?
Yeah, just looking at the project. So yeah, I think then that's fine. Yes, so a little bit of changes and then it works definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So I have one question, but
Yeah, sure.
I know I'm the host hosting you. I'm probably not supposed to be asking a question, but yeah. So about the work experience where he's currently working, is it possible to, let's say he has done something, right? Let's say he has done an activity. Is it possible to mix that like with past tense and then
Yes,
present
yes,
tense?
definitely. But what happens is that the past tense comes in the end then, and the current descriptions are going to be the first in line, and then the past experience is going to come. So definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Can I close this now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let me move to the
There
next.
is one question that how do we add numbers when you don't deal with data? So those points were just a general idea. If you're not using those things in your experience, then definitely you can ignore it. No worries.
So this is another resume.
Okay, so I think this is cover page because it says the date as well and there's a note as well. So I think it's a cover letter basically.
Okay, so there's a
Yeah,
cover
this is the
letter.
resume. And this is the resume. Okay, so education and skills and what are the can you scroll it down? Is this resume of someone who has just passed, like who has just graduated? Sorry, can you scroll it back up because I cannot see any experiences coming in. Education. Okay, so I think this is for someone who has just graduated, and that's why education is coming at the top. Um,
Sorry.
yeah, so yeah, I think that's how it is. Okay. So basically, education will not have Udemy, YouTube, and the advanced web development because these are some of the certifications that you have done. That's going to be education, and that certifications are going to come separately. Education is just the bachelor's of philosophy that this person has done, and then definitely skills are coming in. Can you scroll down? Achievements and awards. Yeah, this is fine. It's just that the certifications are going to come separately with education. And when you are writing these things down, like Node.js, Express.js, it's not looking it's not giving a good impression jotting it down in a line. You need to make it a little bit you can say a little bit of fancy in a way that they are attractive as well, and they are not put into serial numbers like one line, one word. It shouldn't be like that. The resume that I showed you earlier, the skills were written separately on side or basically in boxes together, so that gives a good impression, whereby writing down these skills in line one by one, this doesn't give a good impact, good impression. So that's the only difference. Impression makes a difference. If resume is looking good, that makes a difference for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm done with this.
Okay, yeah. So, but I have one quick question.
Yeah, sure.
But so, for software engineers, right? There's the GitHub. There's a GitHub link that
Yes.
shows how they write their codes, right?
Yeah.
For designers, it's their portfolio.
Yes.
So, what do you think about putting your? First of all, what do you think about not putting a GitHub link at all on the resume? Then, secondly, what do you think about putting the GitHub link at the bottom of the resume?
No, basically the earlier resume that you showed me, the GitHub link was at the top, and I think that was really good because recruiters are looking for that link, and if they can just go there, this is pretty much fine. Writing it like this. So yeah, this is perfectly fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's move to the last. This is the last. Resume.
Yes. Okay, so this is also okay. Technical skills are written. So in this resume, there is no title, there is no objective that needs to be incorporated. Skills come after the work experience. Shouldn't be at the top. Basically, work experience comes, and if skills are coming at the top, then obviously before skills, you need to have an objective written, because this is quite randomly written skills, and then the work experience is coming. So an objective line is very much important. This person has left the organization, so yeah, that's it. Projects are written, and I think I would suggest that when you are writing down your work experience, at least write 5 to 6 phrases. Definitely, it shouldn't be just limited to 2 or 3. It should be 5 to 6, because when you are working in an organization, it must not be that you are just doing 3 tasks. It cannot be like that. So you need to put down all the things that you have done. It should be elaborative. It shouldn't be the stories coming in, but the thing is that a point should be there as to what you were covering in your role. So if you are working as a front-end developer, it shouldn't be just 3 things that you are working on. It should be much more than that. So think around those lines and then put it down. Is at least put 5 to 6 points. So it gives a good impression. And then comes your projects and the education, then that this is fine. If you can scroll it down. Okay, the present one is coming. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Definitely. So yeah. So some of the tweaking needs to be done, and then everything is going to be good.
Okay, awesome. So, are there more questions?
Okay, someone is asking what's the difference between summary and objective. So as I told you, summary is writing a lot in there. As the first resume that we were looking into, it has got a summary. Okay, but then objective is something that is precise, concise, and as per the requirement. So nowadays people are not looking into summaries. They are moving from summaries to objectives. So if you are writing the heading as summary as well, you need to be precise, concise, and write summary as well the way you are writing an objective basically for yourself. So this is very much important. People are people are using the word summary and then writing summary in the form of objective, but either you are writing heading as summary or objective, it needs to be precise, concise, and one sentence is more than enough. It shouldn't be more than that.
Awesome. So that brings us to the end of this session. Thank you very much, Bata.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and to everyone who has attended, I want to thank you very much. Right, and I have some good news, right? So Bata has offered that she will be doing some resume reviews, right? So, but you have to come through me. You can't just go directly to her, right? So, yeah, so once in a while, we'll be doing some resume reviews. So that's one value you're going to be getting from remote-based developers community. So just feel free, message me, and I'll get your review done. So there's Prince Otto is asking a question. What do you have to say about two-column resume? I have noticed that some ATS does read my I think that doesn't read my resume very well.
Okay, so basically the ATS that I have been using, they do read those resumes, two-column resumes quite easy, but might be some recruiters have put in that ATS these restrictions. So that comes back to our point that you need to tailor your resume when you are applying for a role. So if the ATS is not allowing you, just tailor it to another format and apply it. So that's the only thing that you can do. But most of the ATS that I have seen, they do accept two-column resume, so it shouldn't be a problem.
All right. So that brings us to the end. Think one question. Okay, one question. What kind of gap is okay in the career? Like, what if someone just took a gap to rest?
Okay, so in earlier days, if I talk about maybe a year or back, it was considered something not good. But the thing is that now, if you tell them that you just took a rest because you just wanted to, relax yourself, the recruiter is not going to mind that. So the concepts have changed. People have changed. People know that your health matters, your own time matters. So recruiters do not take it something wrong. So you can freely tell the recruiters that you took an off for a break. It's going to be fine, completely fine.
Awesome. So is this officially the end? No other question, right? Okay, we're good. We're good. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bata. Again,
Thank you so much.
This is almost 11 p.m. where you are, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yes. Yes.
a huge favor because she's calling right from Pakistan. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. See you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye. Have a nice good night rest. Okay.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye.